2.8K views, 5.9 hours of watch time, and 7 subscribers here on YouTube. 3 months worth of work. That's all I got to show for it. I know, not impressive, but I learned a lot during that process, and this is my story. My best piece of content that I put out so far in this time frame was AI Never Sleeps. It was a 15-second short that I would say did semi-viral with a whopping 1,215 views, which gained me 0 followers, maybe 1 comment, and I almost didn't post it, to be honest. I was just like, let's see. I've been trying out Opus Clips, Opus AI, and it was one of the few top performing or recommended clips, and I was just like, let's see what happens. And sure enough, it popped. Let's see what else. My worst performing or my best performing long form video, ironically, was the first video that I put out. It has a whopping 21 views, and it's Start Here, Practical Tips, Practical Tech Without the Hype. This is pretty much me introducing my channel, what I'm going to be talking about, all this and all that, and apparently it got one, So I would say that's been my best performing long form video. But I say all this to say that I wanted to peel back the curtains and give you guys a realistic expectation of what early content creation looks like. I didn't hit any one particular thing out of the park. I just started a channel, had a passion of some sort, had a vision of some sort, and I hit record and just see what happens, And I think most people on this platform, they really try to paint themselves in the best light, to really encourage people to jump on the content creation bandwagon. And, I can say, as far as my experience, that is not. And so I'm going to tell you what I got wrong, what I got right, and the faith anchor in this all. Okay, so what I got wrong, what I thought was good content, my audience didn't think was good content. So going back to my highest performing video or content, which was my AI Never Sleeps short. Again, it was on a whim. I've been using Opus, and it was one of the top 5 recommended of best clips, and I was just like, I like the animations. I gave one singular thought, and I was like, let's just see. It seems to be optimized for engagement, and sure enough, I think that's what it did. I think the animations and the edit that I did for it is what really elevated it. And I think because the edits carried so much, nobody really felt emotions and was like, I need to check this guy out. Let me go subscribe to his content. And so I think so far, based on the content that I have created, I really thought that the algorithm would work a lot harder as of fighting my audience and pushing my videos to that audience. And so far, that hasn't been the case. It's really been fascinating for me. It's allowed me to really research a little information that is known about the algorithm and how to optimize my videos so that the algorithm can push my videos to the right people. And so that requires SEO, that requires thumbnail research, that requires hook studying. All of those things add up to when you do hit submit and you do hit publish, that first 24 hours is probably the most critical as far as YouTube using the algorithm to be like, okay, let's try to find the audience that this video is intended for. And so my point number 2 is posting the same content everywhere and expecting it to work. I would say yes and no to that working. I've only been on 2 platforms as of right now. TikTok and YouTube, and so typically I've been at a pace of one long form video a week, and then 2 to 3 shorts from that long form. And so been posting on both platforms, and I would say surprisingly my TikTok is doing better. I would say I'm not happy about that because their monetization requirements are a lot stricter than YouTube's, but you can definitely tell it's a different audience on TikTok compared to YouTube and YouTube Shorts. And so learning about what works on TikTok versus what works on YouTube, that's been a process in itself. And so I'm having to alter a lot of things to be like, okay, if this works, then how can I get this to work on? Point number 3, I thought the views meant something. Like I said, going back to my best video, 1,200 views is not a lot, but compared to my others, it's a big gap. And unfortunately, the people that did watch it, they didn't stay around. That virality didn't convert into common emotion subscriber. It was a flash in a pan. People saw it, especially on shorts, and they went about their day. And so I can never say that hurt. It definitely made me think of the content that I consume and like how do the people that I watch on YouTube and TikTok, how do they create emotion to the point where I keep wanting to come back and hear from them and look at them as the authority figure on X, Y, and Z topic. And so, yeah, I would say the most proud video that I put out is probably my second best performing long form video with a whopping 11 views. This is what happened in AI and tech, So the thought process behind that was more of a weekly series that I could do, just talking about relative tech news and what it means to me and how I interpret it and everything. And so it was fun doing that video. I definitely felt that my perspective is unique. I feel like everybody has their own opinions, and so me being able to speak on breaking news in the tech field, that was something that I was really proud of, you know. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so transitioning to what I got right, I think showing up definitely matters. Sticking to that schedule, whether it is one video a week, because I've definitely seen over these past 3 months as I've started to stack the videos, it starts to compound, and so I remember at one point in the first month, all my videos were under 10, but now that I've been posting consistently, people are watching one video and then they'll binge watch the rest of them, and it just feeds onto each other to where now most of my shorts specifically are doing pretty well. I had to learn editing. Editing from scratch was pretty big. I definitely knew that I wasn't going to be a free DaVinci Resolve guy. Definitely learned that very quickly, and I was just like, CapCut, here's my money. And so using CapCut has really been pretty good. I went ahead and spent the money on the Pro, and I can't complain. I'll be dropping a detailed review to see if it's worth it for you guys this month, so stay tuned for that. And I've also been using Opus Clips, which pretty much takes my long form and uses AI to get pretty good viral shorts, which is, I would say, has worked. I definitely got to work on the branding and the calls to action and everything, but I would say for the most part, focusing my efforts on the long form and then just having Opus clip the long form definitely has saved me some time and made it a lot more streamlined. Let's see, what else? What else? I think definitely just trying to understand the audience I'm trying to reach. I think I'm in a very interesting perspective of tech and faith. One of the big tech personalities or YouTubers I look up to is MKBHD. He has gone crazy. I think he's at 10, 20 plus million, and he's able to talk about tech in a way that keeps people coming back. And he's built a name and a brand off of that, And so, as far as like the faith part, they got internet pastors out there. His name is escaping me, but he's the main pastor for Transformation Church out of Oklahoma. He's been able to do the same, but in the church faith-based realm. And so ideally, trying to take those two and combine them, I would say it's possible. I know that there are people out there that fall inside that bubble. Is just trying to find the right videos that speak to them in a sense. And so I think the niche that I chose is a good one. It has very good promising potential, but it's just doing the work to find them. My final point is the faith aspect. I think when I started this journey, I really prayed to the Lord that this is what you wanted me to do. Give me the courage and the energy and the power to make that happen. And so for me, one verse that comes to mind is Matthew 25. That talks about the parable of talents. A master gives 3 servants different amounts of money before he leaves. 2 of them invest it and grow it. 1 buries it in his ground because he's scared of losing it. When the master comes back, he doesn't ask how much did you make. He asks, what did you do with what I gave you? And I think in this season, the Lord has been really pushing me to speak more than I would like to be honest. I really stay out the way, keep all my opinions to myself, but I really think in this season the Lord has pushed me to speak, and so that's sort of what started my content creation journey, just getting my opinions out so that people can hear them and hopefully connect and resonate and build that community part. And so I think that's sort of the big main motivator is trying to learn the ins and out of what makes content and how to do it in a way that glorifies the Lord and strengthens or sharpens my talents that He's given me. And so yeah, I think right now I'm just really building a system, trying to stress test that system on my good days, bad days. You have it. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to all the people that were there within these 3 months. I really thank you for believing in me, and hopefully I can take this even further than, you know, the last 3 months. Cheers to the next 3 months and the next 3 months after that. So subscribe to find out to see how that goes. That's it. Again, Trayvon Banks with Tech with Intentions. Stay intentional, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.